Okay, so in part 2 of the tutorial, we're going to be editing this image. So you're going to be using Photoshop. You need to use an older version of Photoshop because newer versions do not support 3D tools. And you're going to be also using the 3D models. You're going to open them, but not the ones that are separated, instead those that are from Valve itself. So as you open it up, you see I can move and rotate the object around. I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. I'm going to go into the light. I'm going to disable shadows. And on view, I'm also going to disable the ground plane. Okay, I'm going to double click on the layer. I'm going to go to image, canvas size, and remember this has to be at 2K. So you want to then open up the texture right here. Perfect. So now when I save, you see the 3D object now has the texture. On top of the texture, Ctrl-Shift-N, let's create a layer. Back on the 3D one, let me select the brush tool. And I would like to add a few lines here. Go with something like this. Alright, so let's do these lines. So right here you can see where these lines were drawn. So I'm going to be using the pen tool and let's begin to draw these lines. Delete this of the image, so Ctrl-G to group it, and then let's use a color overlay. Okay, so I've added a bunch of lines. I'm going to save it. So here's what the skin is looking like. Now I'm going to add some of those circles that you see on the P250 to the ellipse tool. So the next thing is that I need to duplicate the design on the other side of the gun, positive 90 degrees. All I gotta do is simply duplicate that group, Ctrl-T, flip horizontal, and drag it on the other side. Okay, so once I'm satisfied with the looks, I'm gonna save this one as a TGA this time. So here's what the skin is looking like thus far. If you pay attention here, we're dealing with a full factory new, 0.00 wear. However, there are areas of the gun like here where it doesn't have any ink. Some guns might be missing some ink, some color on the inside of the barrel, on the tip of the gun, maybe on the scope, for example in the case of the AWP. So the way to solve that is with the creation of an alpha channel. And so in here we're gonna go to where it says channels and we're gonna new channel, so you hit OK. Okay, so now that I added the alpha channel, you can see that there's some ink present in here. However, the alpha channel has also altered the way the gun looks overall, you know, the metallic look that it had. So of course I only need to apply the black part of the alpha channel onto this area alone. Cover it completely, pure black. So I had everything else. And this one I'm gonna make it pure white. I'm gonna press Ctrl-A to select everything, Ctrl-C, go into channels, where this is the alpha, I'm gonna paste this. Let's save the image again as a TGA. And now you can see it's back to that metallic look. And we get some ink at the bottom of the gun right here where it was missing. The other thing that's related to the alpha channel is that the alpha channel controls the wear pattern of the gun. So for example, if I want to see what a battle scar would look, all I have to do is move this slider. Because this part of the alpha channel is pure black, then this is not gonna disappear, this yellow. Even if I go all the way to a 99 battle scar, you will still see this yellow painted. So I'm going to change the wear to blue because I want a battle scar to look bluish like this. So if anyone were to get a maximum wear, it would be bluish like this, which I think the likelihood of it is almost non-existent, but still a nice Easter egg, and we know how much collectors love to get rare skins. Alright, now here are a few problems that we need to tackle. If you zoom in, you will see that as I move the gun, there's some dead pixels that show up. Right here, you see the circle, how it gets squared sometimes, depending on how the light is reflected onto it. We also need to tackle this area right here. We're going to remove this by creating our own normal map, as well as give it a nice 3D-ish effect to the lines. So, see you next time, my dear friends.